Hello everyone, I'm Genevieve White, one of the educators on Exploring English Language and Culture, and I'm very pleased to have the chance to look back on some of this week's highlights with you. Welcome to the end of week review. This week was your opportunity to introduce yourself and to get to know a little bit about other learners on the course. So that's where we started out. If you're looking for travel inspiration, you should really head along to step 2, as we have some lovely descriptions of towns, cities and villages from learners living all over the world. For example, reading Natalie's description of the Swedish village she lives in and some of the events it hosts made me want to go there and see it for myself. It's lovely to see so many of you interacting with each other, supporting each other, asking each other questions and responding to each other's comments. Doing this isn't just a good way to make new friends, it's also a great way to practice the language, so please keep that up. We opened the course by discussing what English feels like for you. And this led to you sharing some interesting ideas and comparisons. For example, Erin thinks that English is like a key to open a new world, while Ludmilla thinks the ability to speak English represents freedom. We also spoke about the link between language and culture, and most of you seem to think there definitely is a link between the two. There were some really interesting comments about that on step 4 from Zineb, Yulia and Mary, to name just 3, and you can read these comments in the link below. Towards the end of the week, we asked you to reflect on your experience of learning English so far. I loved reading your stories about learning English and finding out what initially motivated you. There was a great story from a learner on this course called Learner M, who wrote about an encounter they'd had with an English bookseller. It's really worth a read, so do check out the link below. So what else did we have this week? Well, in terms of language, we looked at the passive form. Some of you had questions asking for more examples of when it should be used. So if you're still not sure, then go along to this step and check out the answers given by the educators there. It's also a good idea to work through the grammar exercises just to make sure you're confident about the form. But really, the best thing is to read as much English as you can and listen to as much English as you can, and just start to notice when the passive voice is used. And just becoming aware of that will make you feel more comfortable and confident about how we can use it in natural everyday English. On Wednesday this week, we had a brilliant Facebook Live session with lots of amazing questions and lovely comments, so thank you so much for joining us. We didn't have time to answer all the questions you left us, but if you go back to this step, one of the educators will have answered your question by now. Well, as this course focuses on UK culture, I'd like to share a cultural event that's happening in Scotland, where I live, this weekend. Tomorrow, we'll be celebrating Burns Night. This special night is when we celebrate the birthday of our national poet, Robert Burns. We do this by saying some of Robert Burns's poetry and eating our national dish, haggis. Haggis is a kind of meat pudding made of the liver, heart and lungs of a sheep, mixed with oatmeal and spices and boiled in a sheep's stomach. It tastes a lot nicer than it sounds, believe me. We eat it with potatoes and turnip, and we drink it with some of this. Amber nectar, also known as Irn-Bru. This is our national soft drink here in Scotland. Next week is all about music. So if you're the kind of person who loves learning English through song, then week 2 of this course is made for you. Have a lovely weekend and see you on Monday. Goodbye.